To the world, Carrie Fisher was fearless. She was Princess Leia, sharp-tongued, unbreakable, and iconic. A woman who stood her ground in a galaxy dominated by men. But for more than 30 years, Carrie Fisher lived two lives at once. One in front of cameras, applause, and convention halls. And another that very few people truly understood, even as she was living it. Only later did the full truth come into focus. The public icon. Carrie Fisher became famous almost overnight. At just 19 years old, she was cast in Star Wars, a role that turned her into a cultural symbol rather than just an actress. She was confident. Witty in interviews. Unafraid to challenge Hollywood's expectations. To fans, she seemed strong enough to handle anything. That image followed her for decades. But it also hid what was happening behind the scenes. The private struggle. Away from the spotlight, Carrie Fisher was fighting battles she didn't yet have words for. She lived with bipolar disorder, something rarely discussed openly during the height of her career. At the same time, she struggled with addiction, not as rebellion, but as survival. For years, she functioned while suffering. Working. Writing. Performing. All while carefully protecting the public version of herself. Why no one saw it clearly? Hollywood wasn't equipped to recognize what Carrie was experiencing. Mental health wasn't spoken about honestly. Especially not by women. Especially not by icons. If she struggled, she was labeled difficult. If she spoke up, she was dismissed as complicated. So Carrie learned to separate herself. The public Carrie, clever, sarcastic, invincible. The private Carrie, exhausted, overwhelmed, and quietly fighting to stay afloat. The writer behind the actress. What many didn't realize was that Carrie Fisher was also a brilliant writer. She script-doctored major Hollywood films. She wrote novels and essays filled with humor and pain. She used words to process what she couldn't yet say out loud. Writing became the bridge between her two lives. It was how she stayed alive while the world expected her to stay perfect. Telling the truth, at last. Later in life, Carrie made a decision that changed how she would be remembered. She stopped hiding. She spoke openly about bipolar disorder. She joked about addiction, not to minimize it, but to make it survivable. She became one of the first major celebrities to talk honestly about mental illness without shame. In doing so, she finally merged the two lives into one. Why her story matters now. Carrie Fisher didn't just entertain people. She gave language to pain that millions felt but couldn't explain. Her honesty helped change how mental health is discussed, not with fear, but with clarity and compassion. The double life wasn't a secret meant to deceive. It was a shield. Carrie Fisher wasn't hiding who she was. She was surviving in a world that wasn't ready to understand her. And when she finally told the truth, she didn't lose her legacy. She deepened it.